Hello, I'm Richard Vobes, the Board Explorer, and I'm out on another walk, and this is a sort of a footnote really to the walk that I'm doing at the moment on my search of England, my search of Sussex in my quest for England. It can get quite confusing, all of these titles. So I'm doing a walk from the Dyke to Kingston near Southwick, which is near Shoreham, on my main following in the footsteps of Arthur Stanley Cook. And this is a footnote to part one really, because I walked down the Sussex Border Path. Now the Sussex Border Path comes down behind me this way. I'm in Portslade and I'm up by the Foredown Tower, which is just to my left, and that's where the old isolation hospital used to be. But there's a walk that joins up with the Sussex Border Path, which is what I'm intending to do today, and get to a trig point. So I'm kind of doing a bit of trig bagging at the same time. So let's start. To get up to the isolation hospital, you just turn off the main road, and I'll put a 3-word description, of course, on the video, and if I remember, I'll put it on the description as well. So you can find it, and you can see I've parked my car here, and I'm actually going to walk to the left up the footpath there to where the trig point is over the hills. But I wanted to show you this wall, because this wall is significant. And while you're looking at that, I'm going to make my way into the sun where it's a little bit warmer this morning and start following the footpath. This area down there, which we saw a glimpse, is where the old Hangleton Isolation Hospital once stood, and that wall is part of it. I think also it became known as the Foredown Hospital. It was a hospital for infectious diseases, and I guess at the time, in the Victorian period, I think when it was originally set up, it was in the middle of absolutely nowhere on this hill. As you can see, it's quite a wide space behind me. There are modern estates now, of course, but you would have been driving up here absolutely away from all over. And there's an interesting website that I was reading on before I came out, which had the stories of young kids, I mean older people now, but young kids at the time, who were giving their story about how they'd been taken there as 4-year-olds, 5, 6, 7, 8-year-olds. Here's the tower with things like mumps, meningitis, polio, all sorts of diseases. And it seems that they were there from weeks to months, having quite a rough time of it by all accounts. The tower there is a bit of a landmark now. You can see it from the A27 and you drive along. It's in some of my other videos when I've been walking over the downs near Devil's Dyke and round about there. It is a great landmark, and of course the hospital is now long gone, taken down, I think in the 50s or something like that. And the tower, the Foredown Tower, was, I think, erected in about 1910, if I remember rightly. I mentioned this in another video, and it's now got a camera obscura in the top, and I think the lower half is for is a learning centre. I've been advised to come and have a look at the poppies here in this field of, I think, wheat. And as you can see, there are some magnificent examples. In the great distance there is Brighton. I've just taken a stroll up this road, and now I'm about to cross the A27 on this nice wide road bridge that doesn't make you feel too unhappy going across, with the downs ahead of me. And there A couple of solitary vehicles going under. Of course, in the times of Arthur Stanley Cook writing 100 years ago, of course none of this would have been here, this cutting. Well, this would have been just one hill here. They wouldn't have cut through the hill at all. And once on this side, I believe where I want to go is up to the left. Yeah, there's a little sign here telling us we're on the Monarch's Way. I hadn't realised when I looked at the route on the map, on the OS map, which I haven't brought with me, thinking it's just a straight route that I need, that I would be coming on quite a wide path. And I also didn't realise and hadn't appreciated it was part of the Monarch's Way, which is this great long trek that goes right up to Warwickshire, I think, and into Shropshire, I believe, at what is it called, Biscobel, where Charles II hid after the Battle of Warwick, or Battle of Worcestershire, that's where it is. Yeah, you know, me and my facts, you know what it's like. Coming up here on this path now, I think this is a dew pond. Just going to come through this undergrowth. I saw this on the map marked as a pond. And clearly, as you can see, it's dried up. It's got some rubbish strewn in there. That would have been here, I think, 100 years ago. I'll have to check on the old map. But that looks like a pretty established item. Right, I'm going to carry on up this path. It does make me wonder, this old track here has probably been here a long time, so it may well have been here. And in the big distance, and you won't see it on this camera unfortunately, is Devil's Dyke, which is, I guess, a couple of miles distant. Right, let's carry on, see if we can find the Trig Point. Well, I can see the Trig Point now. The wind is blowing, and I apologise if the sound is a bit muffled. Just making our way up. There's some interesting bits of concrete down here which look like some old farm implements, and then over there, let's stand on this, I don't know whether you can see, it looks like a little oasis, another possibly a man-made dew pond. Well, they're all man-made of course, but over here we have the Trig, and they very goodly put a stile. I'm going to clamber over so that I can get up to the Trig. Everybody likes a good Trig, don't they? At some point I'm going to make a video about Trig Points and why they're here and how they got here. These, I believe, if my memory serves me correctly, were placed here in the 1930s as part of the mapping of the UK, Ordnance Survey mapping. But that was a remapping from the 19th, let me get this right, yeah, the 19th century. So now if you look at the bottom here, you can see where the top should have been here. That was where the ground would have been. So much of this is now exposed, which tells you the topsoil has disappeared. It is a shame so much of this is fenced off now though, because I can't help feeling that in Arthur's day this would have been much more open and you could probably just wander around, even though it was owned by people. Fewer people, of course. Anyway, that's it for this walk. Thank you so much for coming along and enjoying it with me. It's a sort of a footnote. If I continue up here, I should at some point join up with the Sussex Border Path, which turns off that way towards Mile Oak. And in my next Sussex video, In Search of Sussex video, I will continue that journey. So anyway, in the meantime, thank you for watching. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, a like if you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye for now. Bye bye.